Assalamualaikum and good day. Today we will present our cost accounting assignment based on our food truck business called Ramenara food truck. Our chosen product is ramen carbonara with seaweed and chicken sausage. This product combines instant ramen noodle with creamy carbonara sauce, chicken sausage and seaweed, creating a delicious and affordable meal suitable for our food truck business. Before preparing the product, we first purchase with all the ingredients required. The following video shows our ingredient purchasing process.
First, we purchase ramen carbonara. For the topping, we choose sausage. To add some flavor, we need to choose seaweed.
Now I will explain question 1 and question 2. For the assignment, our selected product is ramen carbonara under the business name Ramenara food truck. This product was chosen because it is simple to prepare, affordable and attractive to customers. The combination of ramen noodles, creamy carbonara sauce, chicken sausage and seaweed creates a unique fusion meal. The ingredients used to prepare this product are instant ramen, chicken sausage, seaweed and packaging containers. All ingredients were purchased and the receipts were collected as evidence of purchase.
Next, I will explain the market acceptance and competitor analysis. We believe that ramen carbonara has a strong market potential because it is popular among students and young adults. Our selling price is set at 12 ringgit per bowl, which is affordable and competitive. Our target sales are 1,000 units per month. This means approximately 40 bowls need to be sold per day. In the market, similar products such as carbonara ramen and creamy noodle dishes are sold between 8 ringgit and 15 ringgit per serving. Therefore, our selling price is 12 ringgit is reasonable and allows us to remain competitive while generating profit.
Next, I will explain the classification of materials and material costing. Our direct materials consist of instant ramen, chicken sausage and seaweed because these ingredients become part of the final product. Our indirect material is the packaging container because it supports the product but does not become part of the food itself. These materials are important in determining the production cost of our product.
Now, I will explain the material costing calculation. For instant ramen, the total cost is 100 ringgit and it can produce 25 units. Therefore, the cost per unit is calculated as 100 ringgit divided by 25 units, which equals to 4 ringgit per unit. For chicken sausage, the total cost is 15 ringgit and it can produce 25 units. 15 ringgit divided by 25 units gives 60 cents per unit. For seaweed, the total cost is 5 ringgit and it can produce 25 units. 5 ringgit divided by 25 units gives 20 cents per unit. For indirect materials, the packaging container costs 5 ringgit and can produce 25 units. 5 ringgit divided by 25 units gives 20 cents per unit. Based on our costing information, the direct material cost used in the production process is 5 ringgit per unit.
Next, I will explain the labor cost involved in producing ramen carbonara. Our production chef received 9 ringgit per hour. Our kitchen assistant received 8 ringgit per hour. Our food handler and packer receive 70 ringgit 50 cents per hour. These three workers are classified as direct labor because they are directly involved in preparing and producing the product. The total direct labor cost per hour is calculated as 9 ringgit plus 8 ringgit plus 70 ringgit 50 cents. This gives a total of 24 ringgit 50 cents per hour. Our production rate is 14 bowls per hour. Therefore, labor cost per unit is calculated by dividing 24 ringgit 50 cents by 40 units. 24 ringgit 50 cents divided by 40 equals 1 ringgit 75 per unit. In addition, we have two indirect workers. The sales associate is paid 20 cents per unit, while the admin and finance personnel is paid 5 ringgit per hour.
Next, I will explain the production overhead costs. The first overhead cost is a depreciation of kitchen equipment. The total cost of kitchen equipment is 360 ringgit. Based on a useful life of 12 months, monthly depreciation is calculated as 360 ringgit divided by 12. This results in a monthly depreciation expense of 30 ringgit. The second overhead cost is indirect materials. The packaging container cost is 20 cents per unit. Our monthly production volume is 1000 units. Therefore, indirect material cost is calculated as 20 cents multiplied by 1000 units. This gives 200 ringgit per month. The third overhead cost is indirect labor. For the sales associate, the wage rate is 20 cents per unit. 30 cents multiplied by 1000 units give 200 ringgit. For admin and finance personnel, the wage rate is 5 ringgit per hour. 5 ringgit multiplied by 8 working hours give 40 ringgit. Therefore, the total indirect labor cost is 240 ringgit. After combining all production overhead costs, the total production overhead is 1120 ringgit. To determine all overhead absorption rate, the total overhead cost of 1120 ringgit is divided by the monthly production volume of the 1000 units.
Next, I will present the cost statement for the month of June 2026. The direct labor cost for our product is 5 ringgit per unit. Based on a monthly production of 1000 units, the total direct material cost is 5000 ringgit. The direct labor cost is 1 ringgit and 75 cents per unit. Therefore, the total direct labor cost for producing 1000 units is 1750 ringgit. When the direct material cost and direct labor costs are combined, the total prime cost is 6750 ringgit. Next, the production overhead cost amounts to 1120 ringgit. After adding the production overhead to the prime cost, the total production cost becomes 7870 ringgit. Besides that, the non-production overhead includes 200 ringgit for the sales associate and 40 ringgit for the admin and finance department, giving a total non-production overhead of 240 ringgit. After adding the non-production overhead to the production cost, the overall total cost for the month is 8110 ringgit. Finally, the production cost per unit is 7 ringgit and 87 cents, which is obtained by dividing the total production cost of 7870 ringgit of the month production of 1000 units.
Next, I will explain the job quotation. The direct material cost per unit is 5 ringgit, while the direct labor cost per unit is 1 ringgit and 75 cents. The production overhead cost per unit is 1 ringgit and 12 cents. Therefore, the total production cost per unit is 7 ringgit and 87 cents. This is calculated by adding 5 ringgit 1 ringgit, 5 ringgit 1 ringgit and 75 cents, and 1 ringgit and 12 cents. Next, a profit markup of 52.48% is applied. This gives a profit of 4 ringgit and 30 cents per unit. Finally, the selling price is obtained by adding the production cost per unit and the profit. As a result, The selling price of ramen carbonara is 12 ringgit per unit. That's all for the explanation of the job quotation. Thank you.
In conclusion, this assignment helps us understand the importance of cost accounting in determining production costs, overhead allocation, pricing decision, and profitability. Based on our calculations, the production cost per unit is 7 ringgit and 87 cents, while the selling price is 12 ringgit per unit. Through this project, we learn how to calculate direct materials, direct labor, production overheads, and profit markup systematically. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.